We are officially in E3 season, even if there is no E3. We're gonna get a Nintendo Direct in June. We know that. Summer Games Fest is this week. We're probably gonna get a Nintendo Direct this week. If not this week, I would say next week. And I have a very, very good feeling that at that Direct, we will be seeing what Zelda game we will be playing on the Nintendo Switch in 2022. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into this, but I do want you to do me a favor. Look down there, make sure you are subscribed. If you want to be, as I said in the last few videos, I've been noticing a lot of people have thought that they were subscribed to this channel. They are not. So make sure if you think that you are or you want to be, buttons right there, do that. On with the video. All right, we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff in this video. Some of this is rumor, some of this is leaks. We're gonna go ahead and just put that out there now. You guys know I have been trying to stay away from this stuff, but at this point, it's hard to stay away from it because we just really don't know what Zelda game we're getting. We know we're going to get a Zelda game. Nintendo tells us they want to put a Zelda game out every single year, and we don't have one for 2022, and we're about halfway through the year. So it's time to start looking at some of these leaks, these rumors, some of the other games that we know are probably done that could possibly be the game, or games, probably games, maybe games, I don't know. Who knows at this point? But there are some contenders, and I want to start with the ones that maybe aren't as likely, but maybe more hopeful on my part. I would like to see something brand new. I don't think we're gonna get anything brand new. I don't think that's a possibility right now, at least not a 3D game, but I think there is a slim possibility that we could get a new 2D game. Now, if you look back at the last brand new 2D Zelda game, you gotta go back to the 3DS. You're talking about A Link Between Worlds. That game was amazing. They took the map from A Link to the Past, kind of spun it around a little bit. Well, they didn't really spin it around. They just added new areas to where you could kind of go in and out of the different dimensions through little cracks in the wall. There was the painting on the wall thing. It was really well done. The game was good. The bosses were great. The dungeons were great. The item system was great where you bought them or rented them. It was all really good. I really enjoyed that. I'd love to see them take that a step further, do something even more outside the box when it comes to the 2D Zelda stuff. That is what I would like to see. I don't think that's likely. I know there are different teams that work on 2D Zeldas, and it's not the teams that are working on Breath of the Wild 2, so if you're thinking it would take away from the development of Breath of the Wild 2, probably wouldn't, so don't get crazy about that. I don't think it would take anything away from that. But who knows? This could be something that they've been keeping under wraps for a while, maybe something that they planned to do for the 35th anniversary that they didn't do. Because as we know, with the pandemic and everything that happened, a lot of this stuff that was planned for the 35th anniversary, whether you want to believe it or not, was probably held back. All we got was a Game & Watch. We did get the Joy-Cons. We got the Zelda Joy-Cons for Skyward Sword. We did get Skyward Sword HD, but I mean, when you look at the Mario anniversary and the Zelda anniversary, and especially now with what Breath of the Wild did for the franchise, I have a pretty strong feeling that they had a lot more planned and just didn't get to do it. So we've probably got a lot of stuff held back. What can those things be? Let's go with the most obvious now, and then we'll get into some of the other more maybe not as obvious things that it could be. The two obvious ones we've talked about in several videos. We just talked about this in another video of the leaks that you should be paying attention to, which I'll link at the end of this video. Twilight Princess HD, Wind Waker HD. My guess is they're already done. They've been done. They were probably 35th anniversary games too. So I think either one of those is a very strong possibility. If not one, possibly both. I did say this in that video as well, and I think this is still basically true. You have to remember that these games were ports of ports. You know, we look at all the Wii U ports that come to the Switch, and they do charge $60 for things like Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Super Mario 3D World. They did add Bowser's Fury to that, so that's a little bit different. I think Bowser's Fury honestly is worth almost $60 in itself. I really enjoyed that, but that's not what we're talking about here. Either way, you can see them doing that with these games because those were games that were developed for the Wii U. They didn't really have a great life on the Wii U because nobody bought the Wii U, so they're just trying to get their money back out of those. I can kind of understand that, but when you look at Twilight Princess and you look at Wind Waker HD, those are games that came out on the Wii. Those are games that came out on the GameCube. Well, Twilight Princess came out on the Wii and the GameCube. Wind Waker was on the GameCube, but you know what I mean. They're older games that have been redone for the Wii U. So they are remasters of old games and then ported again over to another system. I do think it is possible. I don't know how likely it is, but I do think it's possible that Nintendo would give us those in a double pack for that reason. But again, it is Nintendo, and we know how they roll when it comes to their IPs. They charge full price for just about everything. So it's also possible that we could see both of these games released at the same time for $60 each. maybe a double pack of 2 of them with some kind of special edition something, or who knows? They could charge $140 for them and give you, you know, a stat. Who really knows what they're gonna do? But my gut feeling with these ones is if we are getting one of them, not both, I think it's Wind Waker. I think you can look at the past of what they've done with Wind Waker, especially the HD release. Wind Waker HD got a special edition with a Ganondorf statue. It got its own special edition Wii U, which was the only special edition Wii U was for a remake of a Zelda game. So it tells you what they really think about that game. They really obviously hold it to a high regard. Twilight Princess is my favorite Zelda game, but it got an amiibo. It got Wolf Link, the amiibo. That's it. So I could be totally wrong. It could be different. We could get Twilight Princess instead of Wind Waker first. Maybe they'll do the same thing they kind of did with Wind Waker on the Wii U, but only they'll do it with Twilight Princess on the Switch. Maybe we'll get a Midna statue or Zant or something like that. And then we get a special edition OLED Twilight Princess Switch. Oh my God, would that be? Oh man, I really hope that happens. I hope we're not gonna get that. I'm just talking. That's probably not what we're gonna get. I'm just saying it's a possibility. So those are the games. Honestly, if we're looking at all of the things we're gonna talk about here today, I'm guessing it's one of those two, if not both. I'm leaning towards Wind Waker. But there have been a lot of other rumors lately, and we do need to talk about these because they are making the rounds, and I'm seeing them several different places now, that we could be possibly getting remakes of Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, which is actually something we've heard from leakers for a while. I mean, going on almost 2 years now. New Marco Mero on Twitter, who doesn't really have the greatest track record. He's got some stuff right. We know, you know how we feel about those leakers on Twitter. We take it with, you know, a grain of salt. I hate that. I hate saying a grain of salt. Why do I keep saying it? I always say that when we talk about leaks. I hate the saying with a grain of salt, and then I say it every time. Either way, take it for what it is. But that is a very interesting thing to talk about, and this guy seems to be doubling down on this on Twitter. He posted something the other day that said, like, choose wisely or something like that, and had a blue link and a red link, maybe trying to indicate that he thinks that these are going to be sold separately, maybe not released at exactly the same time. Maybe you can't get them at the same time. Maybe it's gonna be like a Pokemon situation, double pack. I mean, who really knows? I don't know. I feel like these games, as much as I would like to see these games on the Switch redone, I really liked what they did with Link's Awakening. And not saying that it's gonna be that exact art style, but I really did enjoy that game. I enjoy top-down Zeldas. That's what I grew up on. That's what I love. Not taking anything away from the new style, the 3D style or Breath of the Wild. I love all Zelda games, but I'm ready for a 2D game. So I would be happy to see these two remade, even if it's in a different style, something that looks maybe along the lines of Link's Awakening, but not exactly like that. I'd like to see a new art style, and Nintendo's usually pretty good about new art styles. They don't really reuse art styles a lot. We've only seen that a few times. We saw it with Zelda anyway, Breath of the Wild 2, and we also saw it in, actually we've seen it a lot. Wind Waker, Spirit Tracks, that other game that was on the DS, those all look the same. Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, the same. I mean, a lot of the handheld games, the early ones look the same. Okay, never mind. I guess they do reuse stuff like that a lot, but I don't know. I think maybe they'd probably go a different direction for this. That was a very, very out there art style. I think they were just trying it for one thing. If they use it, fine. If they don't, I'd be happy. I don't know if that's what we're gonna see though. There are also rumors out there that Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask have been remade, kind of remastered to put out on the Switch. We did just get those on the Switch Online stuff, so I'm not really sure about that, but again, that was stuff that we talked about during the 35th anniversary that we thought was a possibility to come. Something else that this is really outside the box, and this is way out there, but something else that we forgot about, we did talk about this during the 35th anniversary stuff, and I feel like now, all those old videos, I'll put a link to that playlist too at the end if you guys want to go check out those old videos, but I feel at this point, all the stuff that we talked about that was a possibility for the 35th anniversary, I feel like any of those things at this point are a possibility for 2022 because they have an open slot. We talked about something very interesting that I would like to see, and I don't think this will be it. Two things. One, a Zelda Maker. We already saw them put Link in Mario Maker 2. That would be cool. I'd love to see that. The second thing, some type of remake or a further extension of Link's crossbow training. I think that would be fun. We see how House of the Dead is on the Switch now. That's like a shooter type of game, kind of like a light gun sort of thing. That's exactly how it was with Link's crossbow training. That would be really cool to see something done with that. But again, my guess, it's Wind Waker. I think we see it at the Direct this week or next week. I'm gonna say it's probably Wind Waker. Hopefully we get something special edition with it. But let me know down in the comments which Zelda you think we're gonna get in 2022. I wanna know, did I mention it in this video? Do you think we're getting Twilight Princess, Wind Waker? the Oracle games, Ocarina of Time Remastered. Let me know down in the comments below. But guys, as always, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like. Make sure you are subscribed. Really, make sure you are. We'll see you in the next one.